Hello everyone, it's Chala and I am back with our altered book journal. Now, the last time we were together, we did the pages and then we did this kind of three-layered pocket with the pages. I haven't done much since being away or since the last time we did a video. I did gesso this so that we could write on it, or I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this page yet. The only other thing I have done is I did do this pocket here. So it was one of the fold over corner pockets, and then I also created an additional pocket down here. Now when I did this, I didn't cover the entire back of this page. I just covered to maybe like down here. So I have a piece of paper. This strip here is like maybe down to about here. Just so it covers, like if you open this up, you might be able to see that. See, it doesn't go all the way down, but that's okay. It's just, we just need it to be enough so that it doesn't show the book page. If you want to show book page, you can do that too. Doesn't matter. This piece here, I cut a piece so that I could fold over. And now hopefully I can show you. Can you see how I folded that over there? The reason why I did that is because it gives this edge a little bit more structure. It makes it a little more firmer because the book page itself isn't particularly strong on its own, and it could tear. Now, you don't have to do that. You can just like go right up to the edge, like rip to the edge or cut to the edge and have like a border around. That's fine too. This is just something I prefer to do, have a clean edge like that, and I know it's going to be nice and strong for whoever's taking things in and out. This, I actually had a little piece of cardstock just sitting on my desk, and I just covered it and then cut a little notch. And then I thought it would be fun. I just took my little corner cutter here and I just angled it so that it would kind of mimic a little bit of that. So that's really all I've done. I'm probably going to do some more decorating on this, but I'm going to leave it for now because I want to work on, oh, sorry, and I also did just take some paper and cover the writing underneath. I ripped it with my tear ruler, inked the edges, and then this just becomes a writing space. Okay, so gusset pocket. Do you guys remember us making this? I had saved 2 pages. So I clipped 2 pages together for the one side of the pocket, and then I've got 2 pages together for this side of the pocket. Again, the reason why I'm doing that is just to give it a little bit more structure, because if we're going to have things in there, we want to make sure it holds. So the first thing I need to do is glue these 2 pages together. So the easiest way to do this, quite honestly, is with art glitter glue or glue stick, whatever your preferred glue is. Now, we all know that glue stick warps just a tad. Not the end of the world, and I'll show you why. So let's go ahead and just add some glue along here. I do have those paper clips underneath that kind of giving me grief, but that's okay. So I'm going to run some glue stick all along the edges, and then just put a whole bunch of glue stick in the middle, like that. Now it is kind of warping. I'm also going to take my art glitter glue just because I don't want it to come apart. And just going to run, oh, come on, you silly Billy. I just want to run a little bit of glue around the perimeter of that page. Just like this. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the book. Just give it a press down. Now, when you are working through your altered book, I strongly recommend that you don't go from front to back like I did in my other one, okay? The reason being is it kind of makes your book go a little bit askew. So that's why I worked from here and then I went to the front and did one kind of around the same area. Well, not quite, but just keep working back and forth. So I'll go from the back to the front to the middle, and then I'll probably go to the back to the front to the middle again, or, you know, just kind of alternating that way. Okay. So this should be nice and glued together, and it's all nice and lined up because when I glued it, I closed it. Okay. So I'm just going to keep this paper clip on here, just so I know that when I close my book again, I know where to find it. Okay, so do the exact same thing for these 2 pages. Go ahead and glue. Oops, got a bit of a glue glob there. That's always the worst, isn't it? When your glue stick decides to chunk onto your page. It's not my favorite. Now you could use a brush and like Yes Paste, or what is the one I got? I can't remember what it's called. But that'll tend to warp just a little bit more. Okay, gonna close it and press it down. Okay, and then there is our back, all nicely glued down. Did I put art glitter glue? I thought I did. Yeah, I did. Okay, so there we go. We've got our 2 pages glued. Now what I want to do is, because this is going to be a gusseted pocket, we are going to be able to see kind of all the way in here. I want to line these pages with the same, whew, isn't that bright? kind of loud on the eyes, isn't it? I want to put this on the inside of the pocket, and I want this on the outside of the pocket. So basically, we just need to figure out the size of our page, which we will do this at about maybe 5.5. Yeah, I think we'll do it 5.5. 5.5 by not quite 9.25. What is that? I'm always bad at this. 9 3/8. 9 3/8. What was it, my first number? I gotta write this down, you guys. I'm so tired. It's been a long day. Okay. 9 3/4, right? 9 3/4 by, what did I say? 5.5? Yes, 5.5. Okay, good. Got that written down so I don't forget. All right. Pin in glue. There we go. So let's go ahead and cut this down. Let's use our nice Fiskars trimmer. I hope you're all doing well and that you're finding yourselves in your crafty areas. How's the weather been for you guys? We just got over a major heat wave, which I didn't mind too much. I like the heat, except for the one day I was at the Stampede grounds. That was hot, just sitting there watching the rodeo, let me tell you. And of course, we started it off with a wine tasting and a great big lunch of like prime rib. So I was feeling a little bit sleepy at that point. Okay, so 9 3/4, so we're good that way. No, we're not. 9 3/4. Well, that's showing that that's the perfect size. But it's not. It clearly is not. So I clearly am not doing something correctly here in measuring. Let's try that again. How did I lose my ruler? There we go. Not 9 3/4, 9 3/8 is what I want. 9 3/8, not 9 3/4. Let's get our measurements right. That'll make things a whole heck of a lot easier. Okay, let's try that again. Redo that one. 9 and 1, 2, 3. There. I think that's 9 3/8, right? Let me just double check my cheat ruler here. I'm really bad with fractions, you guys. No, that is 9 3/16, I guess. What do I know? I'm just a girl who likes to craft. 1, 2, 3, not necessarily math. So if I count that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's right. 9 3/16. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Whew, sorry guys. You all are probably like frustrated with me. Get it together, girl. Learn your fractions and math. It's too late. I'm an old dog. Can't teach me new tricks. Okay, that is right. I'm going to take another 1/8 of an inch off, actually, just to give me some wiggle room, because I don't want anything hanging over the edge. I really hope I cut that on the right side. Yeah, that's better. Just give me a tiny bit of a border on the edge. And then I said that needs to be 5.5. So 5.5 is right here. I think I have another sheet of this, don't I? Yes. Yeah, what else has been going on? Oh my goodness, last week was such a busy week for me, you guys. I started off Monday. Well, let's go. Saturday was my daughter's birthday and she had a sleepover. Then Sunday, everyone was kind of there. On Saturday, I went and picked up my niece from the airport. And then Sunday was Sunday dinner. And my daughter's friends stayed for a little bit. Then Monday, we went to Callaway Park, which is like an amusement park type thing here. And then Tuesday, I had my full day meeting for work that we do. It's our quarterly meeting. That was all day. And then Wednesday, I worked for a couple hours, went to the office, worked for a couple hours, and then went to the wine tasting and rodeo. I think I'm going to ink this. Thursday morning, I did our office's Stampede breakfast, so I had to be up bright and early and be there by 7:30. And then that usually shuts down at 11, but they had so many people lined up, had over 2,000 people, and I finally had to say at 11:30, like, I gotta go. I'm sorry, I got a whole bunch of work I gotta get done. So I bowed out of that. That was Wednesday. Then, no, that was Thursday. Then that night I had my softball game. Well, I pulled a muscle because I was a little bit dehydrated and trying to run. I got there a little bit late and didn't have enough time to stretch either. So I think the combination of it being hot and not being able to stretch enough and not getting enough water caused me to kind of pull a muscle like a Charlie horse in my thigh. So I've been hobbling around with that. And then Friday was just a work day. I worked for 12 hours that day just to kind of make up for some of the time I was away. I really needed to catch up. All the while my niece has been here. Then Saturday, what did we do Saturday? House cleaned. And then my niece came and my mom came over for dinner. And then that night I had to drive her back to the airport, and her flight got like rescheduled and delayed I don't know how many times. So she ended up not getting on the plane until 11:20 at night. And then I didn't get home until midnight. And then her flight didn't land in Regina, where she lives, until she texted me at 1:06. And I actually was trying to stay up to get her message, but then I ended up shutting things down at actually 104. I missed her by 2 minutes. I shut everything down at 104 because I couldn't stay awake any longer, but she made it home. And then Sunday we had dinner again. Sunday dinner. And then I spent the day crafting, which was nice. So yeah, that was the week of busy. I'm usually not that scheduled, but it's good. It's good every now and then because it makes you appreciate your downtime. But I'm still trying to recover. I'm still feeling pretty tired. Not to mention, I may have also had a glass of wine with dinner today. So there is that. Okay, let's put that there. And use this. Let's just smooth it down. Okay, so that's going to be the inside of our pocket. I guess I didn't really need to ink down here, but it's done. Just so it's something pretty to look at. And I need another one of those. I should have another one of those. I just don't want a craft-a-lunch to happen, so I think I can't avoid it at this point. Okay, we had a mini one. I just really need to figure out better organization here, guys. I don't know. What are your tips and tricks for organizing papers and projects? I've got like folios and books and you name it. Okay. I don't think any of that is going to fall anymore. So let's see. Gosh, these papers are cool. Where is that one? I really hope I have another one of those. I mean, that could work though too, in a pinch. Or I could, no, it's going the other way. I thought I could Frankenstein those together, but apparently not. Apparently not. Where are you, you silly, silly thing, you? I should have pulled it out when I had it right away, but kind of thought I'd have enough. Not seeing it. Well, what are we going to do? It's got to be here. I know I've got more of that. This paper actually came from my mom. Thanks, Mom. She lets me go and raid her stash. She's more into quilting these days than paper crafts, so I take advantage of rummaging through her stuff. Okay, well, oh, there we go. I knew I had it. I knew I had at least one more. Okay. Don't ask me where that pad came from. Like I said, it's from my mom and she's had it for years, so not exactly sure. Okay, again, we're going to do the 9 3/16. Actually, just a little less than that, right? Okay, I need to cut it this way. 3, so come back 1. There we go. Make sure that, yeah, that should be fine. Did I do it right? No, I didn't. Totally did not. Totally did not. Cut it the wrong way. Okay, I can still make it work. I can still make it work. 1, 2. Yeah, see, this is why you don't craft when you're tired. Because you make mistakes, but mistakes can be fixed. They're, as Bob Ross says, happy little accidents. Right? Why am I not getting my poop in a group here? I want it this way. There we go. Okay, and then this way is going to be 5.5. There we go. Okay. So yeah, if you have directional paper, you got to do a little bit of thinking much more clearly than I apparently have. Okay, well, we got lots of little scraps of those to play with. All right, 20 minutes in, my word. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and ink this up, glue it down, and I'm going to cover the back sides of the pockets as well, and then I will come back because you guys don't need to see me just gluing paper down to cover it. You want to know how to do these gussets, and we'll get back to that in just a minute. Okay, so I have got the pages all covered. Love it, love it, love it. I think that looks great. And so now we want to create the gussets for these pockets. So I'm going to repurpose some of the extra book pages that we have from tearing out. The reason I'm going to use this is I have lots of these papers, but it's also fairly thick and strong. So you may want to use maybe like a piece of cardstock or tab paper, something a little bit thicker, if your paper is not as sturdy as this. Or you can glue 2 pages together to give it more strength. This is fairly thick, so I think it should be fine. And I cut it into a 1-inch strip, and then I'm going to score at 1/4 of an inch along the way. So at 1/4, at 1/2, and 3/4. And then we're just going to concertina it, or, fold it back and forth. And what we want is to get something that looks like this. Another reason why I use the book page is it is the perfect size for the page, right? It's exactly the same length, a little bit shorter because I had to cut off some of the tear bits, but it works perfectly for the width that we need, or the length, depending on how you have your book. So anyways, yes, we want to fold it so that we end up having either a little M or a W. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and fold this. I realized that this was actually a book about Trump, and oh my goodness, that was some scary, scary stuff that I saw in the news there about him. That attempted assassination. Oh my goodness, very scary. I mean, he's not my favorite person in the world, but I would never wish ill on him. That is for sure. That is just, yeah. Very scary indeed. He was so close to it going very wrong for him. Okay. Let's get that folded down nicely. And then what we want to do is we want to make sure that these ends here, okay, those are facing inside. We want the nice little points or peaks of the M. We want them to be on the outside, facing out, okay? So let's go ahead and line these up and glue them down. It's really that simple. You could do more than, you could do like a 2-inch gusset. I think just a 1-inch gusset is really all I need for this. But you absolutely can do a larger gusset if you want. Okay, and I'm going to try. I'm not putting it exactly at the edge of the page. I'm lining it up with the edge of this pattern paper. Just trying to give that a minute to catch. And then we will do the same thing this side. I'm just going to turn my book over just because it's easier for me to work this way. And add our glue. Again, you're going to want a stronger glue for this. I'm not sure if Oohoo or glue stick is going to do the trick. So go with your strongest glue that you have. Okay. Make sure that is glued down. Just going to add a little bit up here. It's just, there we go, that's better. Okay, and then now what we're going to do is we're going to add glue to the tops. of these little accordions. Like that. And the trick is to close the book so that it seals. Okay, fingers crossed this works. Just give it some time to catch. Meanwhile, we'll put our pin back in our glue. So yeah, really at this point in our altered book, we are just going to be covering pages. So I will not show you all the pages I cover, or I won't do a video of all the pages I cover. I'll end up showing you, but I'll show you on some of the more either complicated or interesting ones. So we open that up. Here's our little gusseted pocket, just like that. And I do want to give it just a little bit more time. And I want to make sure I just have, the pages are glued together, those two pages, but I'm going to add the arc opening just a little bit here. I want to make sure that I get some art glitter glue in there so they're nice and glued down. Now you can put clamps on here as well to give it a little bit of extra pressure and time to let that glue set up. I think this should be okay. I like the way it looks. And again, we don't need it like to be a huge gusset, just a little bit of a gusseted pocket is what I'm looking for. Oh, we need some glue here. See, that's the problem with glue stick is I never get the edges good enough with it. But that's a user problem, I guess, right? Not so much of a glue stick problem, but a glue stick user problem. Okay. Yeah, that's good. All right, so I am also thinking I might want to do a notch. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to go through all these layers, but we'll give it a go. So I think I'm going to notch both of them, not just one. Do I want to notch just one? Okay, first of all, that's upside down. So let's try that again. Do I want to just notch one side? I could, and then I could put a tab. That might be fun. Let's do that. And then I don't have to worry about trying to crunch through all those layers to get the notches in the same place. Let's actually empty that. Okay, well, I wanted to empty it, but it's all stuck in there. There we go. So if I was middle, where would I be? Somewhere, maybe about here. I think that looks pretty good. Let's just go with it. Not a big deal if it is off. There we go. Yeah, I kind of like that. And then that's got that peeking through. Okay. I'll just ink this up a little bit. Good. Okay. I like that. And then we'll put a tab here so we actually won't end up seeing that unless we do it out of the same paper, will we? Yes, let's do it because I have all these little leftover scraps. So we can do that. And let's just grab some scrap cardstock. That is perfect. And let's do whale tail. Is that going to be big enough? It'll have to do. Okay, let's glue some paper on there first. Kind of got everything everywhere. I'm all excited about this. Go ahead and just cover that in some glue. I'm also thinking, oops, let's put it pattern side up. I also want to do have some pages with sewing. See, it probably would have been nice had I sewn on here. The only problem is, again, this is really paper, thin paper. So if I put it through my sewing machine, I have a feeling it might get munched. So I might just do some sewing on some pockets that I can back on cardstock. That might be the better choice. Yeah, I think sewing would look nice. Okay. And there. Nice little scraps to play with. I really need to do something with all my scraps, you guys. Okay, so make sure that's all flattened out. Oh, and such sad news over the weekend about Richard Simmons and Shannon Doherty. Oh my goodness, I kind of feel like my youth is fading away with all these celebrities passing, right? Because I mean, they are my youth, right? I used to watch 90210. Never got into Charmed. And then of course Sweating with the Oldies. Yeah. Everybody did that. That or like Buns of Steel. It wasn't Buns of Steel with Farrah Fawcett. Was it Farrah Fawcett? Jane Fonda. Jane Fonda, not Farrah Fawcett. Was Jerry? Sure, it was Jane Fonda. Correct me if I'm wrong. There we go. Look at that. Another little scrub. Lock that bad boy up. And put that there. Oh, we'll have it just, yeah, just like that. So it's just a little bit of a space there. Or maybe, yeah, like that. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay. Hopefully you can see that. So it's just kind of meeting up on that angle, and the angles are like very similar. See that? Yeah, they're very similar. Not quite perfect, but close enough for the girls I know. Let's just put our lid on that. Art, there you are. Ink. I want to ink this first. Okay, let me know down below if you've been working on an altered book, playing along. I know we've only had a couple videos on it. I mean, the thing is with altered books is I mean, it's easy because you're just covering the pages and then you're going to do whatever you like with whatever theme you like, right? So I think the hardest part is trying to figure out where to tear the pages, how many pages to tear, and what pockets to make, right? For me, that was the biggest thing. I'm just kind of getting that, yeah, getting that decided. And then once that's decided, then, I mean, it's just all fun and decorating time, right? Come on, Art, let me get this situated. Okay, I think that's good. And again, oops, we'll just close. So yeah, we have a little bit of a tab hanging out, which I think is cute. We could put an eyelet in there and a dangle of some sort if we wanted. I'm not sure I'm going to do that, but that is an option. We'll see. I can always do that later. It doesn't have to be done now. So, oh, I like that. I really like that. So nice and bright. And then, whoops, what do we got going on there? Why were you bent up? You were all bent out of shape. Why are you bent out of shape? Let's fix that. There. Make sure we're not gluing pages together that we don't want glued together. Okay, so then we've got this writing spot here. Here we've got a little gusseted pocket that we could stick something in. I like that. Makes me happy. Looks like we need a little extra reinforcement. And so, yeah, what you'll want to do is likely just let it sit for a bit, like overnight, and then come back, and then you can tell where you might need a little bit of a glue touch up here and there. That is quite common, or at least it is with me. Again, could be user error in the whole glue department, but so that's cute. I like that. And then we can stick a little something in there. I'm not sure what. I mean, I could have done a bigger, I could have done a 2-inch gusset, but again, I think this will be just fine once I get all of this glued down the way I want it to. Sometimes the paper gets just a little, I know some people don't like this word, and I'm sorry if you're one of them, paper gets a little moist or damp, and it sometimes doesn't catch right away. Okay, good. I'm not going to pull on that too much because I don't want that glue to come off. So that really is that project right there, little gusset pocket. And then we can take a look here at our little 3-1. Awesome. Well, as you can see, I've got everything written down of what the pockets that I want to do, just so I can remember. Another little 3-1 here. So I think my next thing I'll do is I'll jump back all over on this side. Might do that one and then jump back over here and do one. Might gesso some more pages because I gessoed that one. Again, not sure if it's going to be a writing page or if I'm just going to do some sort of collage on it. It'll speak to me when it's time, but for now, that is where we are at. All right, guys, I know that this was a quick video, but again, my brain is a little fried from everything in the past week, so I think I'm just gonna get ready and go to bed now because it is 20 after 9, way past my bedtime. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for joining me for today's video and doing this gusset pocket. I wish you an amazing rest of the day, and P.S. I love you.